Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr President. Mr President, my question is to the Minister for Broadband Communications and the Digital Economy, Senator Conroy. I know I miss you too, Penny. I refer the Minister to information he tabled in the Senate yesterday, which said that, and I quote, "Until such a time as the new national standard is agreed and the training course is up and running, NBN
Just wait a minute, Senator Birmingham.
Last night was too much.
You are entitled to be heard in silence, and the exchange across the chamber does not help Senator Birmingham present his question on both sides. Senator Birmingham, continue.
Thank you, Mr President. I was referring the Minister to information tabled in the Senate yesterday, which said that, and I quote, "Until such a time as the new national standard is agreed and the training course is up and running, NBN Co will transfer the important task of handling and removing asbestos in pit and pipe and disposing of asbestos waste from its Tier 1 contractors to specialist asbestos removal firms." Can the Minister advise the Senate what gaps existed in existing training for NBN Co contractors that necessitate the suspension of asbestos handling by those particular contractors?
The Minister for Broadband Communications and the Digital Economy, Senator Conroy.
Thank you, Mr President. Thank you for your question, Senator Birmingham. The agreement that was reached when Minister Shorten and myself convened a meeting of the companies involved, subcontractors, Telstra, NBN Co, and the unions involved, was that remediation work on asbestos, and Telstra had already halted theirs, and NBN Co agreed to halt theirs while these issues are being worked through, and I believe there's another meeting taking place today at some stage. It could even be finished by now. That is just resolving these issues so that everyone can be sure that all of the standards are being followed. NBN Co set out. You had the let's be very clear. You had the opportunity, and I think you did ask some questions about this at Senate estimates. And as Mr Quigley has said consistently, asbestos was a known factor. Asbestos was a known factor before. Didn't do anything about it. If you had actually listened to the answer rather than just mindlessly interjecting. So it was built into the NBN Co's training manuals. There were training courses and there were requirements. So NBN Co have taken the asbestos issue seriously from day one. From day one. And as I have said before, across the 18 months or so since we signed the agreement with Telstra, there have been 29 reported incidents to Comcare of asbestos issues, some of which have nothing to do with the national broadband network build in any way, shape or form. But that is 0.02%. 0.02%. But that is still too many. So to ensure the safety of the public,
Order.
to ensure
Time's
the safety
expired.
of the...
Time's expired. Senator Birmingham.
Thank you, Mr President. Supplementary question. If, as the Minister has just contended in the chamber, the asbestos concerns were a known factor at the commencement of the build and were built into the training manuals and other documentation, as he just asserted, why then has it been necessary for the government to strip its original contractors of their contracts in regards to asbestos handling and engage specialist asbestos handling removal firms instead?
The Minister.
Thank you, Mr President. NBN Co, as a precaution, is working through these issues. We intend to ensure that there are no shortcuts. And if subcontractors of the prime contractors have taken any shortcuts, then they should feel the full force of all the relevant authorities and laws. All of the relevant laws. So we are working with the contractors and through the contractors, the subcontractors, to ensure that all workers involved, and reminding them that there are to be no shortcuts. Minister Shorten and myself left everyone in that room under no illusions that the government does not accept shortcuts when it comes to dealing with asbestos. And so, as a precaution, we're ensuring that everybody gets a reminder.
Time's expired. Senator Conroy, time has expired. Senator Birmingham.
Thanks, Mr President. Further supplementary, and can the Minister advise the Senate then how many of these new specialist contractors are being engaged? How long does the government anticipate needing to use such specialist contractors, and what the anticipated additional costs to NBN Co are of engaging these specialist contractors in addition to its existing contractors?
Minister.
Thank you. My understanding is that NBN Co do, as I think we've discussed earlier in the week, augmentation of some Telstra pits, which means we come into contact with some asbestos. It's a very small portion of the total NBN work. In terms of how many contractors are we using, I'd have to take that on notice. I don't have a figure. In terms of the cost, again, I don't have those figures. I'm happy to take that on notice for you. But let's be clear, despite the outrageous reporting of the Australian newspaper, your Bible, and your attempts to smear the National Broadband Network, NBN take these matters very seriously. They have from the beginning. Unlike those opposite who pretend you've got amnesia about the fact that your own government...
Order. Time has expired. Order.